I think probably one of the biggest obstacles when it comes to reaching your true life success is relapse. It's real easy to relapse. Relapse is basically falling back on old ways. Like you're going back to the old you, the things you used to do when it came to coping with your failures or dealing with your stress or dealing with your personal problems. Relapse is very easy to fall back on. It's a very easy thing to miss. And I feel that relapse stems mostly from just forgetting about the progress that you've been making. You know, we get so drawn into going forward, trying to win, trying to overcome this, trying to overcome that, trying to reach the finish line that we don't notice the progress that we've been making. We forget about the progress that we've been making because we haven't reached the finish line yet. And for some, it takes a long time. It takes longer than others to achieve your goals. And it depends on what your goals are, obviously. But like I said, it takes time. Some people win quicker than others. Some folks get lucky quicker than others. We all learn different. We all move different. Some people move faster while others move slower. And to the ones that do move slower, yes, it's easy to get discouraged when you haven't yet reached that finish line, when you haven't yet achieved your goals. But you have to realize that when you get discouraged, you're forgetting about all the progress that you made. You're forgetting about everything that you've done up to this point. Translation, you forgot how to just take a moment and celebrate the journey. And that's a real easy thing to forget about, because when you're discouraged, you don't want to celebrate. You don't want to smile. You don't want to be happy about the things that you've done, because you're so focused on the things that you haven't done, the things that you're not doing. And now you have that loser mindset. Now you have that mindset like, oh, I failed. I failed because I haven't reached my goal yet. I failed because I haven't won yet. Let me tell you something, man. You haven't lost. You haven't lost yet, because clearly you're still going. You're still pushing. You just haven't got there yet. But getting discouraged, that's going to lead to that relapse. And if you relapse, the more you relapse, the more you're going to go backwards and backwards and backwards. And eventually, the higher you climbed, and I say climbed past tense, the higher you've climbed so far, guess what? The more you relapse, you're going to go back down that ladder, and eventually you're going to be back on the ground. You're going to hit rock bottom again. I've seen it happen. It's happened to me. It's happened to me several times. Sometimes I still catch myself doing that. I still catch myself going back to the old me. And I'm sure you've all done it. Everyone's done that. You know, you want to quit something, and you get that temptation again to go back. Something happened in your life to whereas, well, now I have to go back to the familiar things. Well, sometimes the familiar things aren't always what's best. A lot of times the familiar things, it's familiar because it's comfortable for you. Familiar is comfortable. And comfort that's another obstacle that's going to stop you from reaching your goals. You cannot be comfortable pushing forward. I'm sorry. I know it sounds weird, but you cannot be comfortable. You got to get comfortable being uncomfortable if you ever want to win in this game. You have to go out of your element. You have to go outside the box. You got to go outside your comfort zone. Because if you stay comfortable, guess what? You're going to relapse again. Because you're going to think it's fine. Like, I'll take a few minutes. I'll go back just a little bit. Just a little bit. Yeah, that just a little bit, it becomes a lot. It gradually becomes a lot. Oh, I'll do it tomorrow. Okay. Tomorrow comes, something happens. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it the next day. Or I'll do it the next day. Guess what? You just piling and piling and piling on those pounds of procrastination. And once again, you find yourself relapsing. You're going to find yourself going back, and you're going back down that ladder when you should be climbing up. You're running backwards, or you're running in place where you should be running forward. Just because you feel like you're running in place, it doesn't mean that you are. Like I said, you just haven't reached the finish line yet. Keep going. 10 toes down, man. Keep moving. Don't worry about where everybody else is going. And that's another thing that we do. We're so focused on what everyone else is doing. We're so much in competition with each other that we don't even realize it. And once again, this ain't preaching. This is coming from experience. I have ran so many other people's races that wasn't even mine. Like, I don't have anything to do with that, but I felt like I did. Now I'm sitting here trying to live somebody else's life. I'm not living anybody else's life. I'm living my own. But the more we try to compete with people that we don't even know, we don't know their experiences. You don't know what these people are going through. Somebody, yeah, they dress like a winner. They walk like a winner. They talk like a winner. But always remember, everyone is battling some kind of conflict. We are all battling struggle and conflict. Everybody. Ain't nobody different in that department. We're all different, but we are all the same in this department. And that department is this. We are all fighting some kind of battle within. It doesn't matter how much money you got. It doesn't matter how many women you have chasing after you. It doesn't matter how many men you have drooling over you. It doesn't matter how nice your car is, how nice your house is. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how good you look, how pretty you are. We are all battling something on the inside. And when you realize that, let me tell you something, man. You will start running your own race because you're not going to have time to worry. You're not going to have time to worry about the other guy or the other girl or the other person that you don't even know. Running someone else's race, it leads to relapse. Because you're trying to reach their finish line, and you're not even focused on your own. You forgot about your finish line. You forgot about what you were supposed to do. Because now you're trying to live somebody else's life. Let me tell you something, man. This life is yours and yours alone. And you will get there. You will get to victory. You will win. You will reach that finish line. You just might have to take a little bit more time than everybody else. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with taking your time. Why would you want to rush? What's the rush? Why are you rushing? Why are you rushing to reach the end? Why? You have more life ahead of you than you think. Way more than you think. There's plenty of time, even if you don't feel that there is. There's always time, because there's time given to you. Use that time that is still given to you and do something. All that back there, that's simply for learning. The past is simply for learning. You can't run from it, but you can damn sure learn from it. So learn from it. Leave the relapsing behind. Leave those old habits behind. This is how you leave the old you behind. If you truly want to become a newer, better, stronger, smarter version of yourself, you got to leave those old ways behind. You don't learn from that. You learn from your mistakes. You learn from your heartache. You've learned from your pain. Now it's time to adapt. Now it's time to evolve. Relapse is one of the greatest enemies of success. Conquer that enemy. Acknowledge it, but conquer it. Temptation comes for you when you're at your highest point. Because temptation leads to relapse. And this is when you're at the highest point that you can be in, where you feel like you've won. You're going to feel like you've won because you're winning. You haven't won completely, but you're winning. You're celebrating the journey. You're taking all the right steps. And right at that moment, temptation's going to come. The devil comes for you when you're at your highest point. You just got to know how to ignore it. Not necessarily ignore it. Yes, acknowledge it. Acknowledge the temptation. But tell yourself that you're not going to get me. Tell the temptation that it's not going to work. You're not going to get me to go back to who I used to be. You're not going to make me come up out myself like I used to when I was younger, when I was dumber. You're not going to do that to me. You have to tell temptation that. And that temptation is within here. That temptation, that's the old you. It's still there. It's still clawing to stick with you because it doesn't want to be let go. Your older self does not want to be let go. It's clinging on. It's damn near grabbing onto your arm and it is pleading for you. Don't go. Don't leave me behind. Don't leave bad habits. Them bad habits wasn't that bad. Come on, relapse real quick. It's not that bad. You can do it. Just one little second. Just one little taste. Just one little taste. You got to tell that old self, no, I'm done doing that. I'm done putting myself last. I'm about to start putting myself first. That's the only way you'll win. Let go of that grip. Let go of that old you grip. Push that temptation aside and keep moving forward. I struggled with temptation for a long time, damn near through all of my 20s. From 22 to 31. 22 to 31. It's a long time. I was a heavy drinker. I was an alcoholic. I smoked. Alcohol and nicotine, man, that was my life and club life. Going from bar to bar, going from spot to spot to spot. Because it looked cool. When you're underage, it looks cool. You see other people doing it like, man, I want that life. I want that life. I want to go out and party. I got a license. I got a car. I'm going to drive around and I'm going to do everything that I wanted to do. Everything, all the freedom. I had that freedom. I had my own ride. I had my own money. I said, you know what? I'm going to live. But I lived too long and too hard. I drank too hard, partied too hard, smoked too much. 31 years old, I woke up and I realized, you know what? This is catching up to me. I was 50 pounds overweight and I got diagnosed with high blood pressure. I got diagnosed with hypertension, high cholesterol, messed up kidneys. I was unhealthy. I was dying. And I didn't even know it. I was dying so hard, and I didn't realize it because I felt like it was living. In a weird way, sometimes dying does feel like living. This temptation, it feels good. But sometimes things that feel good aren't good for you. And I realize that. And when you have people that truly look up to you, people that truly believe in you, and you see the disappointment in their eyes, you see the disappointment in the eyes of the people that matter to you, that's the real reality right there. And let me tell you something, those folks that look up to you, those folks that believe in you, let me tell you something, we going back to relapse, bro. That is one of the greatest weapons that will stop that relapse, is you realize and you remember all those people that are either they're younger than you, some are older than you, but they believe in you. They keep telling you every day, you have great potential. You have potential. And you see that disappointment in their eyes. That wakes you up faster than anything. That wakes you up faster than any alarm clock that you've ever had. I have that. And I'm blessed that I still have that. I'm blessed that I still have people that believe in me. And you do too. You may not know it. You may not know this. A lot of people don't know the audience that they truly have. A lot of people don't know the proverbial cheerleaders that they have in their life, because a lot of us don't appreciate those people until they're gone. Take the time to appreciate them now. They're here for you right now. They're not gone yet. Take the time, look those people in the eye and tell them thank you. Tell them I love you. Tell them I love you and thank you for believing in me. Take a minute. That's all it takes. 1 minute. Because those people, they're going to be a big benefactor when it comes to you reaching that finish line. Because now they get to look back and they get to rejoice. They get to say, you know what? I knew they can do it. I knew he could do it. Get rid of the relapse. Get rid of the past. That time is right now. I'm blessed and honored to say that everyone that I have in my life right now are people that I believe in and people that I know believe in me. People that I encourage, people that I try to lift up, because I know that they're doing the same for me and they will do the same for me when I truly need it. Even when I don't need it, I know they're doing it. And even when they don't need it, I'm still doing that for them. I told myself the minute I got back on my own track, the only people that I would take with me are people that want to go forward, are people that want to win. And I've said it in other videos, surround yourself with positive energy. Surround yourself with positivity. Surround yourself with love. Because when you have that, there's no time to go backwards. There's no time to relapse. There's no time for temptation. There's only time for victory. There's only time for celebration. Always surround yourself with that. Like I said, we all have cheerleaders, man. Some we know and some we don't know. It goes hand in hand with haters. I mean, you got haters that you know and you have haters that you don't know. You have haters that are disguised as cheerleaders. You have cheerleaders that you may think are haters, but truly, they're just tough on you because they believe. They know the potential that you don't. They know what you can do, even when you don't know it, even when you haven't figured it out yet. They know. They're just waiting for you to blossom. They're just waiting for it. They are. A good friend once told me that some things are worth waiting for. They've never been more right. Took me a long time to see it. But I see it now. And I got a feeling that a lot of you are going to see it too. You just got to keep pushing. Surround yourself with the energy. Surround yourself with the love. You got this. Folks, if you've reached the end of this video, once again, I want to thank you so much for tuning in. And if you're new here, don't be a stranger. Hit the like button, subscribe, and share. And in case nobody else tells you, I'll tell you. I'm proud of you. You got this. Keep it up. Now go get it.